All right, let's get right into it. We're going to talk about an idea that might just flip everything you thought you knew about who you are. And here's the thing. It's not about some far-off future event like what happens when you die. No, this is about a truth that's alive and real, right here, right now. So, I have to ask you, and be honest with yourself. Are you waiting to go to some heaven in the sky? Living your life now for a reward later, in some far-off place? It's what a lot of us were taught, right? But what if that whole idea, that entire way of thinking is just wrong? Because the reality is that heaven you're looking for, it's already here. And it's not a place you go to, it's an identity you live from. In fact, it's you. I know, that sounds huge, so let's really break down what that means. Okay, so our first section here is about becoming a new kind of being. And this is so crucial. This isn't about believing in some figure that's separate from you, out there. It's about something way more profound, a total union that literally creates something brand new. So think about it like this. There are really only two states of being. There's believing in a guide who's, external, outside of you, or there's being so completely united with them that you actually become a new creation. The whole game shifts from out there to in here. Now, before we can fully grasp this new creation, we have to get really clear on what got left behind. We've got to talk about the old you, the identity that this new reality doesn't just improve, but completely replaces. And check this out, it's incredibly specific. 3 things have been totally cut away. First, that decaying physical body, the one that was always going to perish anyway. Second, the fear of death itself, that deep, nagging anxiety. The Greeks had a word for it, pathema. And third, that selfish desire, that constant impulse to want things, epithumia. That endless cycle of wanting more, that's really just rooted in feeling like you're not enough. And this is the part that's so freeing. Your former body, that old self you thought you owned, it's not a project for you to work on. It's not something to improve. It's already been dealt with. It's gone. That whole identity, with all its baggage, has been laid to rest. Okay, so you're probably asking, how? How does this even happen? Well, the key to it all is hidden inside this really powerful and, honestly, often misunderstood idea of a life-changing meal. And this is where it comes from. I am the living bread that came down from heaven. If anyone eats of this bread, he will live forever. And the bread that I will give for the life of the world is my flesh. Now, this isn't just some nice poetry. This is describing the how. It's the actual mechanism for this radical change in who you are. So what does it mean to eat this bread? Let's be super clear. It has nothing to do with actually eating something. It means achieving a complete union. It's not about consumption, it's about fully integrating another's life into your own being, so much so that it becomes inseparable from you. It's like you can't tell where you end and that new life begins. You're one and the same. And that is the whole reason for the humiliation and pain that was endured. It wasn't some historical drama for us to just look back on. No, it was the one thing that could shatter every barrier and make this deep, personal union possible. For you. All right, so once you grasp this union, everything changes. The whole idea of heaven just gets turned on its head. It stops being a promise for the future and becomes a reality, right here, right now. And listen to this. The Most High does not live in houses made by human hands. Think about that. If the divine isn't in buildings, isn't in temples, then where is it? This one sentence just dismantles the whole idea of heaven being some physical place far away. So, when you hear that phrase, the first heaven and first earth have passed away, we tend to think of some big cosmic event, right? But that's not it. The first heaven and first earth were the people who hadn't been born of this new reality yet, that old way of being human. That's what has passed away. And that leads us to this incredible, mind-blowing conclusion. You are the new heaven and the new earth. You. The new creation isn't coming, it's what you already are. You are the place where this new life is lived out. And it says it right here. You have been raised up and seated in the heavenly realms in Christ Jesus. Did you catch that? Have been. Past tense. This isn't something you're hoping for. It's a description of where you are right now. You are already there. Okay, so this is all big, profound stuff, but what does it actually look like in your real life? On a Tuesday afternoon, we've got to bring this down to earth. It's time to move from just understanding this to actually living as who you are. So, here's a really simple practice you can do. Just once a week, take a few minutes and look back. Ask yourself, was I living as my old self this week? Run by fear and desire? Or was I living as this new creation, united in this new life? You don't have to judge it, just acknowledge the difference. How did you feel? How did you act? What were your thoughts like? It's a simple way to remember who you really are. Because here's the bottom line. The real joy, the real freedom, it's not found in walking with some guide who's outside of you. It's found in walking as the being that is already one with that guide. See the difference? It's not about having company. It's about embodiment. So that leaves us with one last question. And it's not a test, it's just for you. For this past week, who have you been living as? The person you were or the person you are? Because your answer to that, well, it changes everything.